I hate being bored. I'm prettier now. Hello.
How many nominations we're sitting on? Come on! 7 nominations!
So someone decided to drop the song for us before we even dropped it ourselves. The random tweets are not random. I don't just randomly tweet.
And Izinja Zam, are they here today? I want to see, is there anyone from Izinja Zam Zikhona? There they are, there they are, there they are. Oh man, that's amazing, that's amazing. So let's just jump straight into it, right? Izinja Zam EP, Volume 1, dropped today. Today!
I can't wait to work.
Ne?
Yeah, because you know, when you drop an EP, then the marketing comes after.
Yes.
So I can't wait for that.
Now that the EP has dropped, how are you feeling?
The real work starts now, right?
Yeah.
Especially for us. I don't join Z in studio when she's making the music. So our job is to try and amplify the music.
The name Izinja Zam, where does that name come from?
So I used to rap, right?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I used to be a rapper.
All right, all right.
Guess what my stage name was?
See, there's a diehard fan. There's a diehard fan.
So my name used to be Z the Toxic. And obviously because I was from Alex, I used to have this belief we would see something that's toxic is something that's strong. Wrong English. Oh. So it was my understanding, obviously because I was not that good in English. So I used to believe we could see toxic is something that associates to being strong, dominant, and bold. Until I met Shingai. Shingai was like, Z the Toxic won't work. How do I market Z the Toxic?
Yeah.
Right? And then he was like, instead, maybe let's take the toxic into Izinja Zam, because that's still giving Big Boss energy.
Yes.
But that wouldn't have been my stage name. So, stage name, Samafenzam and stage name, Izinja Zam.
Man, love that, love that, love that. Izinja Zam is massive now, right? It's grown so much. For people who are here and they're artists, they want to build a community of their own. What do you think what is the first step, or at least let me say the necessary thing you need to do to build like a cult following?
I'd say that with Z, right? Izinja Zam made sense at a certain point in her career because she had already done the work herself. Like, I can't even take the credit for that. She figured out a way to harness the people around her and to get attention and to get people to be interested in what she was working on. And then once that became big enough, it made sense for them to have a name and for them to have a platform. So the biggest thing is to just start, right? Gain attention, market yourself. And then once you get to a level like Z is, you're able to then, create a brand out of it.
Yeah. And how important is the engaging with it? Because you guys are so intentional with engaging. You are in replies, you're in the comments. I don't know if you're in the DMs. If they DM you, do you DM back, Jana?
I think what makes her community so strong is that people can relate with her, right? They feel like she's a friend of theirs. When she engages with them, she doesn't act bougie. She doesn't act like she's better than them. So the most important thing is she's relatable. She's still the same way she is now that I met her 5 years ago. Like,
Wow.
I'm prettier now. Hello.
So she's still the same age, so she's still as relatable. And people don't feel like, she's out of reach or whatever. So her replying and her being somebody who they can access, I think is a very important part of it.
You guys also have this campaign moving at the moment called Lead the City, right? And you're involving also your fan base in it. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about that, the campaign with Lead the City?
It was his idea. It was his idea. Let him lead.
I mean, I'll touch on it, and then maybe you can expand more on it. But again, because Z does such a great job in studio, and I think it's also a lesson for all the other artists here. It gives us a very serious task to be able to figure out ways to market the music, right? Because she's in studio, she's making the music. Once we get the music, we need to figure out ways that we do the music justice, which is through the marketing, the PR, etc. So when we got these nominations, our whole thing was Z always tells us to be very intentional in figuring out ways to integrate our marketing.
Yeah.
So if we're pushing for Metro FM Awards, we're not just gonna say, he's not gonna go say, go vote for me.
How many nominations we're sitting on?
7
Come
nominations.
on. 7 nominations. Jeez, yeah.
So she didn't want to just say, guys, come vote for me. So she tasked us with figuring out a cool way that we could get people involved, gamify it, come up with a cool campaign. So we came up with the bones of it, but Z was able to expand on it and be like, yo, let's make it a voting thing and let's make it feel like an election. Let's make it in a way that integrates people to be involved. So we built the website, and it's still a website. We're still going to evolve throughout the year and find ways for us to do cool things. We actually got something cool coming up on Tuesday that we're pretty excited about.
So you guys built a website for your fans to be able to go on and vote.
Correct. There's a lot more elements to it. Yeah.
That is incredible. And how long did it take to put this together?
It took a couple of weeks because we didn't have much time. The long and short of it, for you guys to understand what the website is about, right, is that Z's fans are very engaged and they vote for quite aggressively, right? But we're like, okay, cool, let's gamify it and figure out a way that the fans who vote the most in a particular province are going to get a Z performance in May, right? So everybody was voting. There were like 10,000 hits. I didn't even tell you. On the first day, there were 10,000 hits on the website.
Jeez.
So we weren't prepared for it, so we had to rebuild the website in real time because it was about to crash. So the fans were coming on. They were trying to, and it was just based off them wanting to show Z support, upload their votes, showcase that they've been voting, and get Z to come to the city.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. And you said 7 awards, right?
7.
So that is, it's Artist of the Year?
Artist of the Year, Female Artist of the Year, Best Styled Artist, Music Video of the Year, and then there's the Genre Awards, Best Amapiano. Z does all the music there is. Best Amapiano, Best Dance. What else? There's one more.
Lucombo. It's a lot.
Oh, okay. And then Z, for you, you're probably going to grab them all. But if there's one out of those 7 that you want, which is the one you want the most?
Which one do I deserve?
Which one does she deserve?
Which one do I deserve? Artist of the Year. When I put tarangan. I'm joking. Yeah, definitely. I think Artist of the Year would mean so much to me because I think it takes a whole lot of things to build an artist. The brand collaborations, like showing up, like always showing up. I can say brand collaborations, live performances, the websites themselves, like having a strong team. So I think we did a good job as a team. So if being a manager of the year, governor, yeah, it's yeah, but we did a good job pushing Zingximalo as an overall artist.
100%. Right? And we can agree. We can definitely agree. And I see you also take a lot of pride in how you present yourself, right? You look amazing, right?
Thank you.
You take a lot of pride in how you dress yourself. And how does that get put together? Do you have a stylist, or is it you decide this is what I'm wearing and you run with it?
So when I was young, I had bigger dreams, yabo. Like in a sense, I've always known what I was gonna look like. How, I don't know how I was gonna get to that point, but I've always known this is how I'm gonna look like. Ne? So during the come up, I built so many relationships with people, including stylists and stuff. Even people that I didn't afford. Like, I'd follow them, engage with them, because I know there was going to come a time where I would need them.
And can I ask, when you are following them, right, are you reaching out, or you're wait, let me first make sure I'm at a certain place?
I mean, there's a way of doing it. Like there's no way you're not going to recognize me. There's a way, comment, uzokubona eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually you're going to recognize me.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be like, who's this girl? I know my page looks a certain way, so there's no way you're going to ignore me as well.
Sure.
So I've built relationship with so many artists, I'm a stylist and stuff. So manje, by virtue of life being life, I'm able to be like, can I put you on retainer? Let's try this. Can I pay you for this? Let's try that.
And does that work the same way with the people that produce for you? Is it people that you've built relationships with?
To be honest, it was a trial thing, to be honest now. Like,
Nice.
Shakes and Les, I didn't really know them. I only met them once, and we think Funk 55. Tugzin, thank you. Tugzin as well. I only met him once, and then the relationship worked. So, with the music parts, honestly, I
Yeah.
didn't do that.
All right, all right. From a management perspective, what goes into a collaboration, right? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that will say, I want Z on a record and I want Z on a record. What does the process of getting a feature from Z look like?
We get a lot of submissions and requests for Z, right? As you'd imagine.
Yeah.
Z knows what she likes and what she doesn't like. So typically, and a lot of people always ask, yo, how much are you gonna charge for a feature? And we generally don't charge for a feature. We send the music to Z. Z listens to it. She's got an A&R Madondo who they've been building this musical plan for quite a while. And they're able to decide, does this make sense? Does it not? What I will say though is that on this next phase, based on where Z's at, the type of features she's looking for are going to be a lot more strategic than they are just the quality of the music, right? So
Yeah.
obviously she's becoming a big global act. So the features need to make sense.
Now we have Izinja Zam Volume 1 coming out.
Let's go. It's
Right?
out. It's out.
It's out.
today.
It's out. It's out. And the way you guys have mapped everything together so well, the release is today, the awards are tomorrow, the masterclass is today, right? Is that strategic planning?
Sure. for
And
sure.
who and how much strategic planning goes into putting together a project like this?
Sure. It's not by chance. We sit, Z comes to the office every week, right? And then we have a brand meeting in which we can see what's about to come up. So we know when the metros are coming up. We've known about you guys and what you guys are doing, and we're very excited and proud of what you
Yeah.
guys have built here. And one of the things Z mentioned recently is that she wanted to come and be a part of this masterclass. So it made sense for us to sort of align it with the release, align it with the fact that the metros are tomorrow, which is obviously a big situation and occasion for us. And there's a lot more other stuff that you'll see next week and the week after that tie into the plan that you're seeing now. So the long and short of it is that we sit, we plan, we think, we look at the calendar, and we map everything out.
There's no rollout that you guys do where most artists would see the typical strategy is you record the song, you post it, you go perform, and then you repeat the process, right? But you guys take it a step further, right? Can you talk me through the process of how that works when you've now got the product and now it's time to roll it out? What does that process look like?
See, I'm gonna pass this on to you, but I just want to say the first part of that process is that we hate being bored, right? So yeah, like we don't wanna just do things. If there's one thing that we're very intentional about is it's like just doing things that excite us.
Yeah.
You know, so if we're dropping a song, we're not just gonna say, yo, we're dropping on Friday, here's the link. We spend so much time thinking about the colors, thinking about the artwork, thinking about how it matches to the theme, thinking about how it matches from the previous season, how it showcases the growth. Even the video, when you made this video, it was to show people how to vote. You get an email that says Sean Jayam, you know, it's a personal touch because you're one of our dogs. So it's the biggest thing of it is that we want to do things that are fun, right? Like we really, really enjoy it.
I think social media is also one of the things that we consider. For example, I believe in building anticipation. Like generally, as a business person, you cannot supply a product that has no demand because what you're doing is now so sebenzele move.
Yeah.
Yabo. Like as if I'm making sense, man, it's usebenzele move.
Yeah.
Yabo. Whereas if there's anticipation, you're like, okay, 1 point. How do we build from that? So the random tweets are not random. I don't just randomly tweet. You get what I mean? So I'll throw in a few hints here and there. And I don't want to lie, man. Going through the comments has also helped us build a rollout because you can easily read, oh, this is what the people actually want. For example, Zinxumalo and Dlala Tugzin. I never thought it was a thing. And that's a thing that I actually read in the comments. Oh, Zinxumalo Dlala Tugzin. I'm like, okay, we actually have music together. Maybe we can use it as an advantage of ours.
Yeah.
Yabo?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so personally, I think it's social media.
That plays a massive role. man.
Yeah, like
And-
the hints.
Yeah.
Our manager would say, go and download my song. For example, it also goes, how we did the voting thing actually. Yeah, because I've also been a fan myself. I know how it feels when someone comes to me and says, please vote for me. I'll say, yeah, don't worry, I'll vote.
But not do
I
it.
won't. Never. You get what I mean? But
Yeah.
if you make the whole experience personalized, naming feeling at, oh, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Let me actually engage in this.
For
So
sure.
he's super correct when he says, we hate doing boring things like
Yeah. How is that responsibility for you, knowing that you are a role model to like a lot of the young kids?
yeah, those are big shoes to fill because I'm still young myself, if we're being honest. Yeah, but so that means I make mistakes here and there. But what I like about abantu abangithandayo ukuthi they love me for who I am. So I don't have to sit down and say, okay, what do I do now? I just become me.
Yeah.
Then they love me for me.
And for you, Shingai, I think when someone has, or an artist rather, has a young audience, older audience also, but a young audience, there's a level of protection that needs to be there, right? And how is that responsibility on you to make sure you are making sure that her brand is protected?
If you care about something, it's actually something we speak about a lot. And the reason why I think Z's where she's at is that we all care very deeply about protecting the brand. We'll fight about small things. We're like, yo, nah, why are we doing that? Why are we doing this? Like it's not a small things that might be small details to other people aren't small details to us. So we interrogate them and we look at it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The things that don't work, we speak about it and we try and figure out how we can correct it next time, right? Because we're not perfect. We make mistakes often, right? But it's not because of a lack of trying. We make more mistakes because we're always trying different things.
And Z, for you, I mean, you're so multifaceted, man. You can jump on a piano record, you can jump on a soul record, you can jump on a rap record. And I know you're a rapper. That's dope. How do you know, and are you the deciding person of this song is the song?
We have a music director, actually.
Okay.
So we don't just release,
Okay.
unless, of course, if it's a feature, because, I mean, you can only do so much on someone's song.
Yeah.
But shout out to Wandile Matondo. So he's the guy that listens to the music. Shuguti. Because obviously we trust his A&R skills.
For sure.
Yabo? He's got a very musical ear. So he's the one that actually sits down and says, Z, I think this works. Z, this works. Z, that works. The other day, Besio and Zumaskand.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
It went well. It went really
sure.
well. And it's not like, it's important. I don't know how I can emphasize this. I hate being bored. Yeah,
Nah.
that also applies in the genres that I do. Like mangahlale studio C1, guma piano. Eventually, I get bored. Then I'm like, this is not working. Let's go try.
Have you guys ever had a song like that where you guys made a song, you've put it out, and you thought this is the one, and then it's like people are like,
Nah.
and have you guys ever had that?
Of course, I think every artist experiences that because
So which song would you say?
Ngisakuthanda. Let me explain, and that's where trust comes in. Yabona guys, when you build your team, it's important to build a team with people that you trust. That means you also trust ama fail and ama mistake wabo. You trust ukuthi it's fine. I trusted you. Yabo?
Yeah.
So what happened with the previous EP, Izinja Zam? That was the first one. We released soulful music. That was after Funk 55, Amagia, Tula Mabota. People are like, no, this is not the Z we ordered. You know, why Asenzelama soulful nan? But because we trusted Madondo's capabilities. 2 years later, the song was like the biggest song ever. I'm not even praising myself, Mangeti. Like it was one of the biggest Amapiano songs. Ngisakuthanda.
Yeah.
It's probably even my biggest song, a song that blew up like 2 years later. So that means when it dropped 3 months, it's on 10,000 streams. We could have said, Matondo, Maria Bonintosa.
Yeah.
But like a year later, it blew up after a year, ne? Yeah. That's where trust comes
And
in.
that comes with trusting yourself, also trusting your
Yes.
instincts.
Yes,
That's
yes,
incredible.
Yes.
And because the audience determines the hit a lot of the time, right? And now TikTok has also become a soundboard for us, right? So some artists will make the song and then drop it on TikTok first, or go live and let people hear it, right? Some people will go with the idea to TikTok, and if the audience is like, yes, then they're finishing the song. Your process to say, I want to finish the song and then put it out, or you're saying, I wanna go to my fan base, my audience, with the idea, hear the feedback, and then decide if I'm gonna finish the song or not.
So I've always had a bad luck, yama leak. Like my songs, no, for real. Like Amakia was even leaked to a point to which it was leaked on Spotify. So someone decided to drop the song for us before we even dropped it ourselves. Yeah.
Yo.
So when it comes to teasing songs on TikTok and stuff, I'm not a fan. Like I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when I was starting, and I say this with no intentions of sounding arrogant, but when I was starting, that made sense. For example, Tula Mabota was a dance challenge song where we are trying to navigate if people like the song or not. But now I'm not a fan. Because another thing is that when a song leaks, now people are entitled to the version that they hear.
Yes.
Ukanza sevathi, asiyifuni thina le ngoma
Yeah.
lena. This is not the song that
They
we
don't
want.
even want it mixed. They want it to sound as raw.
Bro, when it was not even mixed, like uyifuna njani ingoma engamixwanga? You know, because people are people after all.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of teasing songs. Like there's a way of doing it.
Yeah.
I believe, like tease that part that you are confident about, which this one will definitely make it in the song. That
Okay.
is building anticipation. But lento yokufaka ingoma ku YouTube, because it manipulates the drop date, because most of the numbers have went to the YouTube one.
Yes.
And it's all go YouTube in a 200,000 views. By the time you drop it, your anticipation is
It's
low.
dropped for sure. And then for you, Shingai, the song, let's say it works out, right? And the song goes viral, right? A lot of artists get stuck in the viral moment, right? Do you, in your opinion, do you think that artists are having enough strategy for post the viral? Because the viral is one thing, right? It's like, okay, now the song is viral, people are talking about it, but the plan after people don't usually have, right? Is there any advice you can give for artists? Because I'm sure Zia's gone viral a lot of times. Is there any advice you have for artists who have something that is viral right now to say what is then the necessary steps after?
Not really, bro. And the reason why it's there's no one size fits all. It's quite it's a difficult process, right? Because what works for Z is not gonna work for you if you're a new artist right now.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, for example, when Funk 55 dropped, we've been working for like 2 years and we hadn't found anything that was gaining traction like that. Well, actually, there were a few things, but you're figuring it out as you go. You know. So again, I think the only thing I'd say to that is what I said earlier on is just care about the project, about your product, be curious, look around for references, try different things and see what works. Because for the main part of Z's success is she finds most of these moments, right? She creates the stuff online. And most of the time, we're just coming to amplify it because we don't know what works. It's not like, you know, I also think sometimes you get more credit than we deserve. The biggest thing that's making things work this well is her talent, her skill, her ability to feel things and see what's working. And then we just come in and pour fuel on the fire. So, and that's just because she's also curious. She's looking at TikTok. You're low-key addicted to your phone. Z's watching everything. So she's getting a sense of what works, what feels right, and we're following her instinct. For the most part, when we don't know what to do, we say, yo, Z, like, what feels like makes sense?
Can I just add on to that?
Yeah.
I think another thing that we make use of is like making use of the opportunities that you have. So like finding hope in that one small thing. I can make this work. For example, I remember when I had Nguwe. It was not really a big song, but Kelvin Momo played it and I was in that gig. I was like, I'm getting on that stage.
What?
Yes, because I saw it as an opportunity. And bengiyengiyeke inhlule.
Jeez, that's
Do you get what I mean?
incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And Shingai, she's running to the stage. What are you doing? Are you like, hey, what?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, shoot. Huh?
And then from a branding perspective, right? The way that the Zingomalo brand has become is absolutely incredible. Like a round of applause to you guys for. And I just want to ask how important is it to protect a brand as an artist, the brand that you have? How important is? Do you have any advice to from Z and from you, Shingai, to our audience at large to say to protect your brand? What tip do you have? Maybe that one thing that you say, in order to protect my brand, I do this. Do you know what I mean? This is a non-negotiable for me.
Okay, I'll start. But I mean, the simple answer I'd give you is like to the previous point, like don't make rush decisions. Think deeply about the big moves you're gonna make because they do impact your brand. Yeah, and just care deeply for your brand.
People must trust and believe in themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen that work. I know I can fight for that. But as to giving out formulas on how to protect brands, maybe there will come a point in time where I have a perfect answer for you. But for now, honestly speaking, I don't have.
I love that though.
But people
I
must
love
be
that.
confident, especially girls.
For sure. Guys, I just want to say thank you. I think this was an incredibly insightful session. I think it was so raw and authentic and real. Do you know what I mean? I think you guys are both incredibly talented and incredibly smart. And on the behalf of the AM team and the audience at large, before we get into our Q&A, I just want to say thank you to you guys. So coming up next, guys, we're going to have the Oliver Kang from ABSA coming in just to have a young chat. But as we usher Z out, because we're still going to bring you back, we need to hear the music. Because at the end of the day, we're here for the music, mostly. We're here for the music. So, guys, can we usher Z out with a round of applause? This way, please. Thank you for joining us. From my understanding, you are the head of enterprise development at ABSA, right? Can you explain to the audience what that is and what your role is?
In the space that we're in, we assist young entrepreneurship. So we have three pillars, which is access to market, access to non-financial support, which includes coaching and mentoring, and then we also has access to market. So the main thing is to take our clients maybe from ideation phase to scalability as well, and then those maybe who are already operating for us to keep on assisting.
Let's be transparent here, right? One of the hardest things when you're getting into the creative space, right, is having the right amount of funding and having the right amount of money, right? Because you need to pay for a lot of things, right? How would you say creators should be building wealth to become sustainable? Right? Because I think sustainability is the goal, right? A lot of us make the money, but it's very, very hard to keep the money and even harder to grow the money, right? What would you say creatives can do to become sustainable?
The thing is, from enterprise development, I think right now, one of the days where the creative industry is just talent. So we see this business. We've
Yeah.
been in spaces where artists come through with different artists as well, like the ones who do murals.
Got you.
Yeah, one who do murals, this kind of things. And then they'll go through maybe getting the documents correct.
Yeah.
One of the things the manager said, which was key for me, that actually stood out, was the SWOT analysis. So when you come to SWOT analysis, where you can able actually to see, what's your weakness, which might be not being able to find to look into your finances or mismanagement of funding.
Yeah.
That's when you can come in and maybe allocate a mentor to you as well to just
Really?
Yeah.
You guys can actually allocate.
We can.
Wow.
Especially we try to pair you up with someone maybe who's been in the industry who understands. I don't think we have the luxury of, even in life, to make all the mistakes.
Yeah.
That people in the previous have done.
Yeah.
So through the mentorship, you're able to actually never it down.
there's so many AIs coming along, right, in the creative space, and also within the business space, right? How important do you think innovation is within the creative space and tying it into the business side of things?
You know, I, the fact that innovation it's always linked to technology is really sad.
Yeah.
Because I was part of the startup panel where I was judging.
Okay.
So one of the creatives, it was the concept was innovation,
Yeah.
and everyone was coming with tech stuff and stuff, ne? But
Which
when
feels scary sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
and he came with he was sewing clothes, but from recycled goods. So he would even take things even from the dustbin and just maybe create a bag with it. And then
What?
Yeah, so he would do the kind of thing like create t-shirts with the patches of other t-shirts. And that was very innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another one that we had is a client in Northwest.
Yeah.
So they also do jackets. The jacket can actually switch to become a backpack. And to us, that's innovative.
Jeez,
It's not
yeah.
only just based on technology. And I think people should also move away from that concept of saying like, no, innovation, you need to think of AI, you need
Yeah.
to think of any digital tools.
Yeah.
But for someone to create a jacket that can switch into a backpack.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So diversifying.
Yeah, very long, change your bag.
Ah, that's dope.
You see.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated.
Hi, my name is Vincentia Noctilam Semaga. I'm a radio broadcaster. I am an entrepreneur. So my question for you is that being a woman, because I'm also a woman in my industry, in radio, and I left one town, came to another town, and it's a bigger town, and I'm learning how there's a lot of pushback, especially from males. So I want to know from you, how are you sustaining yourself? Because it does get to a point where it breaks the soul. It may sometimes you, like, I'm just going to leave this and go back to corporate.
For a woman, I just generally say keep on improving yourself and your skill. Because kuluma ingoma. Like I always say, hit aina genre. I know, because it was sung by a male, it's going to be song of the year. It doesn't work like that. So just keeping on improving yourself, and you place yourself at a much more bigger advantage from everyone else. And by everyone else, I'm also including other females, because you're just good. And it gets to a point where more blind to blind.
Thank you.
Igama Bavuyisa Mnotoza, all the way from Rosittenville. Like in strategy, usebenzise siphi strategy ukuthi ubhale, because I think ezinye izinto like business wise uyayibetha mntasekhaya like ukuthi
Mtasekhaya, leyo question important kakhulu, especially because kunama musician la mtasekhaya, yazi. Mina ngiyazithemba and ngithemba noNkulunkulu. Uyangithola? So most of the songs that I've done, my biggest songs are freestyles. Yabo, that's no generally like I'm a bad writer, honestly speaking. So most of the time amongst the studio, when I try to fit in and be like everyone else, generally they're like, I learned it doesn't come from within. So with the music, it's the most authentic thing ever. There's no strategy. No, I wanna take it like this. I wanna do this ad lib. Like no, it comes natural.
My name is Awonke. I'm more interested on the business side of music. So my question will mostly be directed to Mr. Shingai. So I would like to ask, in terms of, I'm an aspiring record label executive. So I would like to ask, do you think, should I start with maybe first designing a record label, or first should I just approach an artist or find an artist to build from ground up? That's simply my question.
I would recommend you just start like whatever is in front of you. If it's a record label idea you have, if it's an artist, if it's a friend of yours who you can manage, if there's somebody who needs support that you can help and figure out a few things, if you can join another management team and do social media for that team, whatever the case is, there's no best way to start. Just start it and then you'll figure it out as you go.
Thank you.
I go by the name of Queen Leshka. I'm a piano female producer. So yeah, what I want to know from you guys, because my path is different than every other female in the industry, and I'm having the most difficult time because I'm actually pursuing something that doesn't have that much of a market yet in South
Yeah.
Africa, and then I'm a piano industry. Firstly, I want to know, because mostly in Hispana Namachite studio, I produce with them and stuff. So, and they're not used to working with me or producing with a girl or sing a girl, pressing keys and doing all of that. So, yeah, you attend a lot of studio camps, Zabo Shakes and Layers, all that, and I'm still trying to break into that, and I try and reach out to certain people. I'm having difficulties. Well, I know some of them, they're looking, Cherry Lona, but I mean, my profile is ready. Everything is there, my EPK, my work. I feel like my brand is at a point where it's ready to take off now. But since I'm so low, I don't have a team yet. I'm still trying to work my way there. How do I find a team that can understand the way in pushing a corner or how I want to go? Because I'm taking a different route than your regular female DJ. And how do I expose myself to attract those type of studio camps? Because I keep on getting rejection because they don't know
Really?
me yet. They don't know
Really?
me. But my work is all over social media and
Washa.
shopping. Yeah.
Izinja madoda.
So yeah, ngifuna nje kwathi ukuthi ngente njani ngoba kumatima so yeah, like I think nangathi nje
How about you?
advanced.
Okay, how about you come to studio this week at Rap Academy?
Yo.
Let's go.
And by the way, I won Lady of the House 2025. So one of my tracks won Lady of the House 2025 last year.
Washa Izinja.
Definitely, I'm game. I'm game.
Okay,
we
you
need to
take
jump.
our number uze studio sibone ukuthi uyinja kangakanani. It's alright.
Guys, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to be here today. Z, Shingai, thank you guys so much for all the gems that you guys dropped, for all the insight you guys dropped. This was truly one of the best masterclasses that we've had. You guys were absolutely amazing. And I think people here today are able to walk away with information that they can apply right now. Do you know what I mean? So thank you guys for taking the time to be here. All the best for the awards. I really, truly believe that you deserve all of them, right? On the behalf of the AM team and the behalf of everybody that went through the rain to be here, I just want to say thank you. We appreciate you, and thank you for an incredible masterclass.
Thank you, bro. You're a great
Thank
host.
you.
Let's get right. Thank you guys so much.
Everybody here.